Hey guys, I had a lot of people asking me some specific things on what to do with bikes and how to do some stuff. So I'm trying to get around to making some of these videos back up. I've been busy on the road with Supercross, with Brandon Hart Raft, and doing all that stuff. So still some big things to come at the end of this year with some schools and stuff. But I'm going to try and do one video a week just to answer some of these questions that people have. And the one I'm going to do today is how do you lace / true a wheel. Today I'm just going to show you how I lace it and get it pretty much ready to throw on the truing machine. But yeah, let me do this and go ahead and check it out. So basically what I do to start, I take some high pressure grease with a little brush and I goop it on pretty good on the spokes. On a Suzuki, the rear spokes, there's long spokes and short spokes. So the long ones go in to the inside and the short ones go to the outside. I'll explain that a little more once we get going there. But I goop this on pretty good, and then I heat it up and let all the grease follow the threads all the way around. So you got grease. So you don't have to sit there and grease every one of them all the way around. You can just goop this on really, really well. And then just take your torch, get it going, and heat all them up, and it'll run all the way around the threads. And it just saves you a little bit of time if you're in a hurry. Normally, like a couple years ago when I was building a lot of wheels, I'd do like 6 sets a day. So, I mean, anything you can do to save some time. Again, with the long and short rear spokes, the front, everything's the same. Rear, there's a long and a short, and they're only about 3 mil different in length. So you have to be careful. If you have the wrong one in the wrong hole, it'll poke through and can poke your tube and stuff. But the long ones go to the inside of the hole on this hub, and the short ones go to the outside. And to lace a wheel, you always start with the outside hole. So on the table here, I have O and I, outer spoke, inner spoke, and I have them separated so you don't get them mixed up. Nipples are all the same, but so on the outside ones, it doesn't really matter where you start. Just start with an outside. I don't know if you can see it on there. Start with an outside, poke it through, and you'll see on the rim there's only one that it'll line up to, and that's going to be this guy right here. So you just get it in there, get it started. When you pull this back, you'll be able to see that the spoke and nipple is sitting perfectly straight in the hole. If you're in the wrong hole, obviously it's going to look funny and it won't true up and be right. So just lift up on this. I only go, I don't know, about 3 or 4 turns to start just to get all of them in there. And you just keep going on the outers first and then to the inners. So now, as I'm putting these in, when you get the first one started, it's going to be, I started here, and then there's 1, 2, 3, and then it's every 4th hole is where the next one will go. So really, once the first one started, it's easy. You just go every 4th hole, and you really can't mess it up. It really doesn't take a lot of time. Truing is what actually takes the most time, doing all this stuff. I've built quite a few to where I've got it down pretty good. You can actually get them really, really close just by looking at the threads. So when I go to put my drill on here, I'll thread all these nipples all the way up to where there's about 2 threads showing. And then that'll get you pretty close to having it completely true. And then obviously torquing your spokes at the end and making sure that everything is right there, that the wheel doesn't come apart when you go to ride it the first time. And little word of advice, especially on a new set of wheels. I always check spokes every time that somebody's on a bike, but it's really, really important the first 3 or 4 rides while everything's breaking in to check everything and make sure that they're not coming loose. Because if these start to come loose one at a time, it's going to be catastrophic, and you're going to ruin your wheel, your hub, and all that, ruin your day riding, and also you could get hurt. Obviously if it comes apart coming off a triple or a big double at the track, it's not going to end well. So now that I've got all of the outers in, you can see all the way around, it's just all the outers. Now I'll go ahead and put the inners in. So now I'm coming over to my eye here, just so I know I've got the right ones. And same thing, you just go cross back the other way. And with the inner ones, you make sure that the inner ones go underneath the outer ones. I don't know if you'll be able to see that in the video, but make sure that it goes underneath the ones that you already have, not on top. And like I said, it really doesn't take much time once you get this going and just keep cruising. one way you'll be able to tell if you go to, once you go to true this wheel up and get everything tight, if part of this spoke is sticking through the end of the nipple back here on this side, you'll know that the nipple or the spoke is in the wrong spot when it's true. And then also, if you switched to, if you have one inner where the outer should be and one outer where the inner should be, you'll be able to see where the other one is recessed a lot farther in than the rest of them. So, I mean, at that point, you could just pull those two out, switch them around, and then retighten it back up and then retrue it, which is not a big deal, but it's just kind of more of a pain in the butt. I've done it myself. That's why now I lay all these out long and short, inner and outer, just so when you get to the end and get to truing it, you don't have to pull it all back apart and do all that. So obviously learned from messing it up. So that's the best way to learn, is from your mistakes. And so getting our way around here. All the bikes are a little bit different. I mean, some are the same. I think Yamahas are the same as this. Cowies are the same as this. KTM's. The only one that I've personally done that are different was a Honda 125 wheel, and it was 1/3. So this is 1/1. So one just crosses one. On a Honda, there's one that would cross two. So just a little different. So now all of those are in that side. Flip it over, and then start over again from the outer first. Put your outer spoke in. This will only line up with this hole. Like I couldn't even get it to this one or this one. So put that one in there, get it started. And then, like we said, every fourth one. And the more spokes you get in, obviously the less holes you have. So it makes it easier to see that it's only going to line up with that one. The first couple a little confusing, but once you get going, you really can't mess it up. With the bend on the spoke, you can't physically bend it to a different hole, so it kind of just takes the guessing work out of it. On a couple of these end ones, you just got to kind of force it in there, get it to pop. Then all started. I just did a video, a time lapse of building the front wheel, and you really can't see a lot of what's going on. It's hard, you can't explain in that, there's no sound. So I figured I'd just do this one a little bit slower, and I'll probably post both of them back to back just so you can kind of see what's going on. Okay, 3 more of these. And again, like I said, I'm trying to make some videos to answer some fan questions and stuff. Everybody wants to know like some specific stuff. Like I've been doing like Top Secret Tuesday and just some random stuff. But if there's any specific stuff that you would like to see done, or just an answer, a question, I mean, not even a video, if it's just an answer or a question that you have that you would like answered, go ahead and, DM me on the Instagram, Facebook. You can get on the website too. www.themotomedic1.com. I have a direct message link on there, which a lot of people have been using. So lots of ways to get a hold of me. Like I said, we're trying to expand these schools, and like I said, just been busy on the road, and had a daughter. She's 6 months now, so that's been keeping me busy too. But still passionate about working on bikes and showing people how to do it. Like I said, these last couple can be kind of a pain to get into the hole. So you just have to kind of find just enough to get it past there. And it pops right in. Alright. Once I get all these in, I have a really cool trick with tightening all these nipples up. I mean, they do have I'll show you. They have a spot for a flat head screwdriver on there, but with that on there, you risk going too tight, because when you bring all this together, you want to bring it together loose and then true it loose. So you can't be tight to true it, because you can't get it to go one way or the other. You have to have it loose. I'll show you when it goes up. With that flat screwdriver on there, you risk going too tight with this little tool that I made up. It's just a piece of rubber hose with some wire tie on it and like a 1/4-inch impact driver bit. Once it gets to the torque that's good, it just slips on the rubber. So every one of them is torqued at the same torque essentially, and it's just enough to keep it loose to true. So little secret that I think Richie Matchett at RCH, when I was working with him, he came up with that little tool and saved me a lot of time in doing this by hand. So now that those are all in, you can hear how loose it is. So all you want to do is now with this, so it's just a piece of rubber, 1/4-inch impact driver bit, put it on there, and then I have some wire tie just to hold it just enough. And it grabs on that rubber right there, and once it's tight, it stops. So I'm gonna thread all these until there's about 2 threads showing on each one. And just one at a time, all the way around. And I'll do a second part to this video on truing these wheels too. I'm just running out of time today and wanted to at least get some content out. That's how much faster this is than trying to do it by hand. Lost a battery, of course. So you can see too, like I can just leave this thing on here, like right there, it's not spinning anymore. So it breaks free and it's still finger tight. So exactly what you want it to do for when you're going to true it. That's it. So all the way around. Now there's just that little bit of play, and that's just so when you go to true it, you can turn each one of these, you know, you're gonna have to pull it one way or the other to get your offset right. But yeah, that's all you need right there. So there you go. There's a wheel built. Hope it answered your questions. If you have any questions about it, about any of the specific wheels, just get back a hold of me or any other questions. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.